Are you pouring money into Facebook ads just to watch your cost explode while your results completely flatline? You're not alone. Let's be real. The old rules are completely dead. Hyper-targeting, building those ridiculously complex funnels, scaling one single winning ad, it's all obsolete, a relic of a bygone era. Meta's new AI, a beast of a system that they call Andromeda, has completely flipped the script. It no longer rewards advertisers who try to outsmart it with audience hacks and stacking dozens of interests. In fact, if you're still using those 2024 or 25 methods, you are actively fighting the algorithm. You're forcing it to work with one hand tied behind its back, and you're just burning cash, wondering why nothing is clicking anymore. But don't worry, I'm Les Parham, the owner and founder of a very successful digital marketing and digital advertisement agency. This is Peace Corner at Peace Corner 433, our YouTube channel, where I teach people like you who are business owners and entrepreneurs how to scale their businesses or business opportunities with digital marketing. And for today's video, we'll be focused on the advertising portion of this new monster algo called Andromeda. The real question is, what if you can make this monstrous algorithm work for you? What if you can turn this complex, intimidating machine into your most powerful employee, grinding 24/7 to find your perfect customers? In this video, I'm giving you the simple step-by-step playbook to master Meta's AI. We're covering the creative strategies and the exact Advantage Plus features that the top 1% of advertisers are using right now to scale and make serious profits. No fluff, no vague theories. This is the blueprint, and I'm going to teach it to you today. It's time, so let's get it. Section 1. The great shift while your old playbook is burning your money. Okay, first things first, the ground has totally shifted under our feet. The world of meta advertising in 2026 is a different planet from just a couple years ago. To really get the new rules, we have to understand why the old world just doesn't work anymore. Think back to a top tier media buyer in, say, 2023. Right? Their whole day was spent deep in the weeds of ads manager, and their genius was measured by how well they could pull targeting levers. They were an audience architect, if you will. You'd spend hours researching and stacking niche interests, trying to create the perfect little box for your customer. You'd make these complicated Venn diagrams of behaviors and lookalikes, convinced that in that tiny little sliver of overlap, there was a gold mine. And the campaigns? Just as complicated. We built these elaborate funnels all separated out. A top of funnel campaign for cold traffic, optimizing for cheap clicks just to get people in the door. Then a middle of funnel campaign, retargeting website visitors with a different ad. And finally, a bottom of funnel campaign, hitting cart abandoners over the head with dynamic product ads to close the sale. Each stage had its own budget, its own creative, its own rules. We obsessed over manual bidding and cost caps, thinking we could force the system to give us cheap results. The whole philosophy was based on one idea, that we were smarter than the algorithm. Our job was to find undervalued audiences nobody else saw and scale them to the moon. It gave us this feeling of control, but it was a false sense of control. We were basically driving a race car by staring into the rearview mirror. Then came the earthquake. In late 2024, Meta started rolling out what we now know as Andromeda. This wasn't just an update, it was a total paradigm shift. Let's try an analogy, shall we? So the old algorithm was like a junior employee. You had to give it super specific step-by-step instructions, something like target people who look like this, they live in this city, they are this age, and show them this exact ad. Basically, we had to manage every tiny step. Now, Andromeda is like hiring a world-class genius level marketing exec. It's a deep learning engine whose main job isn't to follow your tiny instructions, but to achieve your main goal. So it acts like a super sophisticated retrieval engine, sorting through millions of potential ads in a split second to find the perfect one for a user based on what they're doing right now. So if you go to this genius exec and say, hey, I want you to talk to a man who's age 34, he lives in Austin and likes both golf and Teslas, you're not helping. You're actually insulting their intelligence and hamstringing their potential. We don't want to do that. You're stopping them from finding customers you never would have thought of. Customers whose real-time signals show they're actually ready to buy now, no matter what they've put on their profile 5 years ago. This brings us to the most important change you have to accept. The algorithm's primary input is no longer your audience. The most important data you can give this machine is something called your creative. Andromeda doesn't want you to tell it who to talk to. It wants you to give it a rich portfolio of things to say so it can figure out who needs to hear what and when. Trying to hyper target now is just a fool's game. You're taking the most powerful machine engine in history and forcing it to play in a tiny sandbox, while your competitors are somewhere over here letting it run free on the entire beach. Think about that. Section 2, the new philosophy. We're going to teach you how to become a creative strategist. So what does this mean for you? You have to change your identity as an advertiser. You're no longer a media buyer in that old sense. Hunched over ads manager, tweaking audiences. That job is being automated now. So we're not even worried about that, right? Your new job, the one that will make or break you in 2026, is creative strategist. Your primary function is to feed the machine. What does feeding the machine actually mean? It means Andromeda analyzes every single part of your ad to figure out who might like it. It looks at the video's pacing, the music's tone, the words in your ad copy, the style of your images. It then matches that analysis with billions of real-time users' data points, what someone just watched, what they browsed or liked, to find a match. Your job is to give the algorithm a diverse menu of these creative signals. The era of finding one winning ad and scaling it to infinity is over, people. Relying on one ad is like opening a restaurant that only serves one dish. Sure, it might be a great dish, but you're ignoring everyone else who's in the mood for something else. It's just not a good idea. This is where creative diversification comes in at. Stop thinking in single ads and start thinking in creative concepts. In one campaign, you should be running a mix of formats: images, videos, user-generated content, we call it UGC, carousels, each with a slightly different message. The algorithm is now smart enough to pick up the best for each individual user at their specific point in the buyer's journey, which is something a human could never do manually. This effectively kills the need for most of the painful A and B split testing that ate up our time and money back in the day. It's outdated now. And the data, it's pretty telling. Reports from early adopters of this creative first strategy have shown conversion lifts of up to 17% and lower acquisition costs. They're not working harder, they're working smarter by playing the game the way the AI was designed to play it. So how should you think about your creative angles is the real question. Let's use a simple framework. Your creative portfolio should have variations of these core concepts. First, the problem/solution angle. This is direct. You will call out a pain point and present your product as a clear solution. This works great for people who know they have a problem and are looking for a fix. Second, the benefit-driven angle, okay? Don't focus on the problem, focus on the dream outcome. Paint a picture of the amazing transformation the customer will get. You're selling the destination, not the plane. Think about it like that. Third, and maybe more powerful than ever, is social proof or user-generated content. Again, we call it UGC. We're talking testimonials, customer reviews, unboxing videos, or clips of real people loving your product or products. In an age of AI and super polished ads, authentic social proof cuts through the noise like nothing else. Fourth is the education angle. Can you teach your audience something valuable related to your product or maybe your services? A quick tip, a myth-busting fact. This makes you an authority and builds goodwill for a future purchase. Fifth, the humorous or the entertainment angle. Finally, there's the humorous or entertainment angle. Sometimes the best way to sell it is not to sell it at all. Grab attention with personality and wit. It makes your brand way more memorable than a boring corporate ad. The goal here is to build a robust creative library. You're done searching for one perfect ad. It doesn't exist, right? Instead, you're building a system where you have an ad for someone in every possible mood and at every stage of their journey. That's what's important. This is how you feed the machine, my friend, and that is how you win. Section 3, the blueprint. This is the step-by-step Andromeda campaign setup. All right, theory is great, but let's get our hands dirty. Let's jump into Ads Manager. Now, I'm going to walk you through click by click how to build a campaign that's perfectly structured to make the Andromeda algorithm your new best friend. All right, so pay attention. Now, this is the exact setup that top tier agencies are using right now, and I know because they're paying us to do it for them. Step 0, the foundation. This is your data infrastructure. Before we even dream of creating a campaign, we have to talk about the absolute non-negotiable foundation, which is your data, okay? Your meta pixel and the conversion API, your CAPI, must be set up correctly. This is not optional. I repeat, this is not optional, okay? Think of it this way. The Andromeda algorithm learns from the signals you send it. If you're sending it messy, incomplete data, you're giving the world's smartest marketing AI a broken textbook. It can't learn, and your results will be trash. Get your data infrastructure right before you spend a single dollar. Step number 1, the objective, setting the right North Star. Here we are, the campaign creation screen. Your first choice is the campaign objective. And in the Andromeda era, this is more critical than ever. For this whole strategy to work, you have to choose a high intent objective. That means selecting sales, leads, or app promotion. A lot of people are still tempted to choose traffic or engagement. This is a catastrophic mistake. When you select traffic, you are literally telling the AI to go find you the cheapest possible clicks, and it literally will do exactly what you just told it to do. But that's not what you really want, okay? It will find people who click on everything, but they'll buy nothing. Same with engagement. You will get tons of likes and shares, but zero sales. In 2026, be crystal clear about what you want. If you want sales, then choose sales. Trust me, people, you get what you ask for in this life, okay? Step 2, the budget, unleashing the power of CBO. After selecting sales, you'll get to the screen where you name your campaign. You'll see an option for Advantage Campaign Budget, which is the new name for campaign budget optimization. We used to call it CBO back in the day, okay? Turn this on. You must set your budget at the campaign level, not the ad set level. Why is this so important? Setting the budget here puts Andromeda in the driver's seat of your money. It lets the AI intelligently move your budget around to all different creatives and audiences in real time. If one ad suddenly starts crushing it at, say, 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, CBO can immediately pump more money into it. Using ad set budgets, ABO, is like telling your genius marketing executive they can't move money from a failing newspaper ad to hit a TV spot without your permission. It's just crazy, right? It's just super slow and efficient. For a starting budget, I'd recommend at least $50 to $100 a day. This gives the algorithm enough data to get out of the learning phase quickly, which is what you want. All right, step 3, the audience going broad is the new smart. Now, for the ad set level, this is where the biggest mind shift happens and where most people fail. Your goal is to be as broad and unrestricted as humanly possible. You'll see a section called Advantage Plus Audience. This is the core of the new targeting system. It analyzes all your pixel data and past customers to build a profile of your ideal buyer. Then it uses that as a new starting point to find new people. Next, in audience controls, it's time for restraint. So I want you to set your location and a wide age range, something like 25 to 65 plus. Set gender to all unless your product is truly exclusive. Now, for the most critical part, the audience suggestion section. This is where you give the algorithm its opening hints. You are not going to use the detailed targeting box. Please leave it blank. This is a signal that you trust Andromeda to do its job. Only thing you might add here is your absolute best, highest quality audience. This could be a custom audience of your entire customer list. Think of this not as a cage, but as a suggestion, right? Here's what my best customers look like. Go find more like them and feel free to find others who look different but are ready to buy. Finally, make sure you exclude recent purchases, like in the last 30 to 60 days, to avoid wasting money. Step 4, placements. Let the AI drive. All right, next up is placements. The choice is simple. Select Advantage plus placements. It's the default, and for the love of all things profitable, don't change it. So many advertisers think my customers are only on Instagram Reels, and they manually select placements. This is a massive mistake. The algorithm has infinitely more data than you do. Trust me. It knows second by second where your ad is most likely to convert for the lowest cost. Meta's own reports have suggested campaigns using Advantage plus placements can see a significantly higher return on ad spend, and we call that your ROAS. Why would you leave that money on the table? Remember, the goal here is to never leave money on the table. The only time you'd ever touch this is after weeks of data showing one placement is a black hole for your budget. For 99% of advertisers, trust the default. Step 5, the creative, feeding the machine your masterpieces. We've arrived at the final and most important step, the ad level, right? This is where you, the creative strategist, will shine. In a single ad set, we just built, you are going to upload your entire portfolio of creative assets. For starters, aim for at least 5 to 10 uniquely created variations. This portfolio has to be diverse, all right? Your best images, your most engaging videos, user-generated content UGC, and multiple ad copy angles that hit different pain points. As you upload, make sure Advantage plus Creation is toggled on. This is another free, powerful tool. It lets Meta automatically make small tweaks on your ads, maybe slightly cropping an image to fit the placement better, or applying a filter to make it pop, okay? These little automated changes consistently outperform static ads. And I'll even give you a pro tip. If you have an old ad with tons of likes and shares, don't lose that social proof. Do this. Use the existing post option and enter the post ID and pull it right into this new better campaign structure. And that's it. You've now built a campaign that's perfectly in sync with Meta's 2026 AI. You gave it a clear goal, a flexible budget, and a broad one-way, and a rich menu of creative. Your job now is to let the machine do the work. Take a breath. We just built the whole thing, right? And here is the crazy part, YouTube familia. This framework alone is a strategy that agencies are charging thousands of dollars to implement. And I know because they're paying my company to do it for them. Think about it. Y'all getting it for free. If you're getting value from this and you want more strategies to stay ahead, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. My whole goal is to cut through the jargon and give you actionable steps you need to win within your business. It's free and it ensures you're the first to know when the next big algorithm shift drops. Go ahead. I'll wait. Section 4, managing and scaling your Andromeda campaigns. Launching is only half the battle. How you manage and read the performance is just as important, and it's totally different from the old way. Here within section 4, I'm going to give you exactly 4 things to focus on, okay? The learning phase. Patience is your most profitable virtue. Once you hit publish, your campaign enters the learning phase. This usually takes about a week, give or take, depending upon how much data you're feeding into it. During this time, it is absolutely critical that you do not touch the campaign, okay? Don't touch the budget, don't add or remove creative, don't touch the targeting. Seriously, hands off, y'all. I know it's hard. We're used to tweaking things daily. I get that, but you're not going to do that now. You're going to listen to what I'm saying, okay? But you have to understand what's happening. The algorithm is actually exploring, okay? Let it do its job. It's spending your money to test all different ads against countless audience microsegments. That's cool. Your cost per acquisition, or your CPA, will be all over the place, right? Some days it will look great. Others it'll look awful. This is normal. That is okay. That is supposed to happen. The gains from Andromeda aren't linear. They're exponential. In the first few days, it's just getting baseline data. As it gets more conversions, its predictions get exponentially better. If you jump in on day 3 and kill a creative because its CPA is high, you might have just axed the very ad that was about to unlock a huge untapped market for you. You're making decisions without incomplete data sets. That's bad. Trust the process. How to analyze performance in the new world. Okay, so after the learning phase, how do you judge your performance? The old way was to look at every single ad. We used to sort by CPA and kill anything performing worse than average, right? That's how we used to do it. Guess what? That's wrong now. Totally wrong. The new way is to focus almost exclusively on campaign level performance over a 7, 14, or 30-day window. The only question that really truly matters is the campaign as a whole hitting my target CPA or ROAS? Andromeda is a portfolio manager. It might intentionally spend more on a higher CPA ad because it knows that that ad is great at introducing new people who convert later from a different ad. If you turn off that intro ad, you starve the whole system. Please don't do that. Stop looking at ads as individuals and see them as a team working together for your business's benefit. Look at the overall metrics and even things like ad recall lift. Well-structured campaigns can lead to significant boosts in brand recall, which is a very valuable long-term asset. Creative refresh, the only lever you'll need to pull regularly. So if you're not tweaking audiences, what's your job? You are a creative portfolio manager. Your main lever is creative refreshment. On a weekly or bi-weekly basis, dive into your ad level reporting. First, identify the clear losers, ads with very little spend and terrible results. You'll want to turn those off. Then replace them with brand new creative challengers. This keeps your ad library fresh and always gives the algorithm new things to test. Second, identify your winners, but don't just let them run forever. Analyze them. What's the angle? Is it a testimonial? Is it a problem or a solution hook? Once you know the winning concept, your job is to create 3 to 5 new variations of that angle. If a video testimonial is your top performer, then go shoot 3 more with different customers or different hooks. This is the new A/B testing. You iterate on successful concepts, not tiny variables. There's a difference. How to scale. It's simpler than you can imagine. This might be the best news of all. The old crazy scaling strategies, duplicating ad sets at midnight, complex bidding, that's all gone, right? They're all gone. Scaling a successful Andromeda campaign is dead simple. Once your campaign is stable and profitable, the only thing you do is increase the campaign level budget. That's it. A safe rule is to bump it by 20 to 30% every 2 to 3 days as long as your numbers look good. No duplicating. No hacks, just give the profitable machine more fuel. Remember, Andromeda is built to handle massive volumes efficiently. You don't need new campaigns to reach more people. You just give your proven campaign a bigger budget and the AI handles the rest. Now, for 99% of advertisers, this is all you'll ever need to grow. Section 5, real world example and advanced feature. Let's make this even more real with a quick case study with one of our actual clients. This client runs an online design bootcamp. All right. For years, her results were flat. Her costs were rising and she was stuck in a complex funnel. So she came to us and what do? We switched to the Andromeda strategy and started one sales campaign. With only a broad audience with her past student list as a suggestion, she gives it to us and then we upload a diverse mix of creatives. These included video testimonials, screen recordings of the bootcamp, images highlighting job placement rates, and copy focused on different career angles. She let go. The results? The system automatically found new customers she never considered and matched them with the perfect ad. Her enrollment shot up and her costs went down. She went from a stressed out media buyer to a strategic creative director. And for all you e-commerce folks, one more thing, Advantage plus catalog ads. This is the supercharged version of dynamic product ads. Think of it like this. When you enable it, the system automatically shows the most relevant items from your product catalog to your users. The pro move here is to use your best performing videos as the creative wrapper for these catalog ads. It combines dynamic retargeting with engaging creative, creating an unstoppable combo for sales. So let's recap the whole philosophy, shall we? The era of hacking audiences and trying to outsmart the algorithm, it's over. The future of meta advertising is about becoming a creative partner to the AI. You win by going broad, trusting automation, and most importantly, feeding the Andromeda algorithm a diverse portfolio of high-quality, angle-driven creatives. You are no longer the pilot, you are the architect of the machine's inputs. I know this is a massive shift, but it's a simpler, more powerful, and way more scalable way to run your ads. Trust me, it's what we do for a living. You now have the exact blueprint that all the top advertisers are using. Your job is to stop fighting the system and start building it to work for you. Also, remember, Meta is bigger than you think. One great Meta ad can cover things like Facebook, it can cover Messenger, it can cover Instagram, it can cover Instagram direct messaging, it can cover Threads, it can cover WhatsApp, it can cover Manus, all these different social media platforms. So you will really want to pay attention to this video and watch it as many times as you need for your digital advertising. And now that you understand and know how to make a killer ad, let's talk about getting a massive amount of leads for your business. This course right here is a masterclass designed to teach you exactly how to do that. All you have to do is click right here and learn how to generate massive amounts of usable leads who are ready to convert for your business.